Hello, this is Brenda Savanu from Second Mile. I am the Director of Opportunities here, and I wanted to tell you about our upcoming scholarship opportunity. In the next week, we will be opening up our second round of Equip2Grow scholarship applications. Before we do that, we wanted to walk you through all of the documents needed for the application process and how to apply. We will begin by reviewing the required documents you will need for this application process. There are 6 documents that you will need, and we will review them one by one. First, you'll need a headshot. What is a headshot? A headshot is a picture of you from the shoulders up with your face being clearly visible. You can either take a selfie or have someone take a picture of you with your phone. The best thing to do is to take it outside or somewhere with good lighting. Second, you'll need a copy of yours or your parents' recent pay stub, one that clearly shows their wages with the taxes and net pay, all of the things that are on there. Third, you will need to have an official acceptance letter from the school you plan to attend. This letter needs to be on letterhead and clearly show your name and the date of acceptance. Fourth, you will need a letter of recommendation from a trusted community leader. This would include either your school counselor, your pastor, your teacher, or your employer. Make sure that they add their contact information so that we can follow up with a phone call or an email. Fifth, you will need your 2020 or 2021 tax returns, which for most people would be yours or your parents' 1040 form that shows your annual income. If you don't have your 2021 yet, it is fine to submit your 2020. And finally, if you are already enrolled and have your tuition bill, you will need to submit that too. Make sure it shows your name, your student ID number, and is on the school letterhead. If you have just been accepted and do not have your tuition bill yet, you'll be required to submit it prior to receipt of any funds should you become a scholarship recipient. Once you have gathered all of these documents, click on the link, the application link to apply and submit all of your documentation. Next, we will walk through how to fill out the application. So now that you have collected all of the documents that we talked about, it's time to click on the link to go to the application. So here is the page where the application is. My suggestion would be go to the application look and then just read through it so that you know all of the expectations and what you will need. So let's just look through here really quickly and see what we need. So you'll need to be a second mile neighbor or the child of a second mile neighbor. Have your acceptance letter, which we talked about all of that previously. Fill out the form completely, and everything needs to be submitted by May 2nd at 5 p.m. You need to have your name and your address in there, your phone number, date of birth, and email. If you visited Second Mile, if you know your Second Mile number, and we're going to go through all these in detail. I just want us to look really quickly to see what we'll need. You'll need the name of the college, and then here you see there are 2 essay questions here. There is this one that says with at least 150 words or more, tell us how receiving the scholarship would help you and your family. And then the second one is in 150 words or more. Tell us what you plan to do with the acquired education or certification. My suggestion to you would be to open up your Notes app or Word document and write these short essays so that you have them in there. And then once you start filling out the application process, you can just go there, copy and paste into here. And we're going to walk through that, but just something to think about before you get there. And then continue to look at all of the requirements, the documents, everything that we talked about, acceptance letter, your tax return, proof of income, letter of recommendation, headshot, And then over here is where you're going to upload all of the files. And then there's some other information to fill out here. Okay, so now that we've taken a look and we know what to expect, we have that set aside. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to open my folder. I have a folder with my required documents already in here that's on my desktop. So it has my tuition bill, my tax return, my pay stubs, my letter of recommendation, my headshot, my acceptance letter, and my 2 essays. Okay, so now that we have that, what I am going to do is open up my essays so that I just have those open. And then I am also going to proceed to my application process. Okay, all right, so now that I have those open and ready so that I can paste them in, let's move through the application process. Okay, so once again, you must be a second mile neighbor or the child of a second mile neighbor. What does that mean? That means you must have received services here at Second Mile recently. And you'll need to have the acceptance letter, which we went through, fill out the form completely, and submit everything by May 2nd at 5 o'clock. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out this document. Okay, let's get in the name, the address, okay, scroll down a little bit more so you can see that, the phone number, and the date of birth. Okay, and then let's make sure we get the email in there. Okay, and have you ever visited Second Mile? Let's click yes. Second Mile number, some of you know this, some of you do not. If you do not, you can just leave this blank. If you do, go ahead and fill it out. What type of school you're seeking your scholarship for, let's make sure you check that. And put the name, okay, and then here is where we have our essay. So remember I said that I already had mine on a note, and I'm going to go ahead and go there and just go ahead and copy and paste that. Okay. So there we've got 150 words, and I had another one in there. I'm just going to go ahead and paste the same words, but you would have a completely different essay in here. Paste that in. And then now it's time to upload all of these documents. So you're going to need all of these documents. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so let's go ahead and get these in here. So we're going to browse our files and go to your folder that has everything. Mine are all in here. I put everything in the same folder just to make it easier. And then I'm going to select all of the documents that I need and upload them. So you see, they all show up here. And then just double check to make sure that you have all of the documents that you need. Go ahead and mark your ethnicity. And sign. Okay, and then you can go ahead and submit. And there you go. Your application, your submission has been received, and then you will receive communication back from Second Mile once the process is complete. Thank you so much, and we look forward to receiving your application.